Ah, good old Peter Sikora, too. Oh, it's beautiful. Look at him. Check to see if he can a little fight. I will. Joe Thornton will fight, but he's not enforcer. It's perfect. I actually really like that system. Brian Leach in Boston. The best team he ever played on. Oh, Hossa was in Hanson? Oh, see, there you go. Oh, Glenn Murray. Oh, the pictures. Jamnoff's big-ass face, but then you get a small picture of Glenn Murray. Oh! Oh, my God. A young saint. A young saint. Yuri Slager. PJ. Oh. Oh, Dave Scatchard. Hal Gill. This is my team. Jonathan Girard's in the game. Oh. Oh, you'll love to see it. Although Travis Green looks like he looks like he's had some rough times. Andy Hilbert, Tom Fitzgerald, Ivan Hummel, Dan LaCouture, Martin. That is a 17 head. Like, Martin Samuelson is 99% forehead. Good Lord. Good Lord. Nicholas Ian Moran, who is not happy. Jon Ursina. Nathan Robinson. Andrew Alberts. Zednik Kutlak. I mean, there he is. There's the boy. Travis Green was a Bruin. The greatest Bruin. Colton Orr. I had to look at the Bruins at least. And goalie is Andrew Raycroft. So I don't believe Rask would be in if he was. I mean, you got to figure this came out in 2005, so Rask wouldn't even been drafted yet. But people from the 05 draft, of course, there was the lockout. So I don't believe Crosby and Ovechkin were in the game until, like, NHL 06, until roster updates came out. So. Oh, God. What a team. Go back to Bergeron. The face is almost the same as Milan Ursina. Okay, let's find out. There's me. Cody, are you okay? I don't know if you're okay. I don't know if that's almost the same as Patrice Bergeron. I'm just saying. I think there's a pretty big difference. You know what? At this point, I guess we're just looking through the roster. Screw it. Screw it. Oh, God. We'll at least take a quick scroll through memory lane with a young 20-year-old Ryan Getzlaf with hair. That's how you know it's an old game. It's okay, Ryan. It's okay. I'm getting there, too. Try to trade Rask for Raycroft in an old NHL game once. They would do it. Because they even... Oh, that's the best picture of Travis Moen you could find? Really? Like, he looks like he's about to sneeze, and you're like, yep, that's good. Let's go. We'll just roll with that. Look at Chris Kunitz. 26 going on 15, apparently. Oh, God. Todd Fedoruk, Kip Brennan. And again, the greatest hockey player of all time, Peter Sikora. Do they have potentials? They do. But they're gonna be way down here if they do. They don't. No listed potentials, unless I missed it. But they have a nerve rating. So that's good. They got Tugness, composure, star power, nerve, leadership, shovel/garbage, which David Clarkson would have a 99. The one-timer, the backhand. It's always frustrating to see they even have a grit rating. And somewhere, Brian Burke just woke up in a cold sweat. They even have a grit rating. Come on, man. Checking bias, so you know how good they are at checking and how often they check. It's so frustrating to look at stats like that in this game that came out in 2005, and NHL 19 has fewer attributes to make players, you know, a little bit more unique. Oh, Corey Perry. What a guy. Dallas Star great, Corey Perry. Same as those ones. Keith Carney and his amazing jaw that could carve steel. Ruslan Soleil, Wisniewski, Bruno St. Jacques, Joey DePenta. In goal they had Jiggy and Briz. The world is humongous big. Mike Dunham, Kari Lettinen. I wish they had a potential rating. What do they have for goalies? Angles, anticipation, challenge, dump bias, Flexibility, focus, lateral movement, poke check, positioning, puck control, quickness, rebounds. Jesus Christ. Squareness. They have a squareness rating. Butterfly, sprawl, stack pad, stand up. Why? Why do you have so many attributes? There's so many attributes for goalies, and it's a good thing. It's not a negative thing. It's a good thing. I'm gonna go cry myself to sleep. This is bullshit. The dog was in the room and wanted out. They have a stack pads rating. They do. Now again, NHL 19 or NHL 20 with this many attributes would be amazing because it wouldn't feel like every player plays the same way. A lot of people wouldn't be like, oh, in Hut, this goalie's a 92, but he can't stop shit. Well, it's like you look at the individual attributes, there are more attributes to potentially explain why. It'd be a beautiful thing. Oh, good old Greg DeVries. What a guy. My God, it takes forever to scroll back over. That's how many individual attributes there are. It takes forever to scroll back over. It's insane. Braden Coburn. Look at him. Does squareness equal girthiness? It might factor in. Shane Knighty. Bruins legend. Bruins legend Shane Knighty. I'm not convinced Kyle Rossiter's a real person. That's the worst cutout JPEG I think I've ever seen in a video game. Again, that picture of Marian Hossa is just a beautiful, beautiful thing. Oh, Scott Mellanby. It's just something about Scott Mellanby. It's just appeasing to the eyes. Scott Barney. Hold on. Elite prospects right now. I don't believe you're real. I don't. I know you're wearing a Kings jersey there. I'm not he's real. Okay. Scott Barney from Oshawa. Second round pick. 29th overall of the Kings in 97. There's also a team stat profile. Former Hershey Bear. Jesus, he played last year. I'm not even joking. He played in 2017-18 in Asia. He's 40. He's a man. He's 40. Jesus. Scott Barney. My God, that is a journeyman. Who has he coached? Dude, he's the fucking head coach of the Humboldt Broncos now? Fucking, oh, round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Scott Barney. Scott Barney, hockey legend. We discovered something today. He's the ultimate journeyman, and now the head coach / GM for the Humboldt Broncos. What a hero. My God. Now see, that's the type of rabbit hole that just makes life worth living. That is insane. So now at the very least, you know that Scott Barney is a legend and a hero to us all. I didn't even think he existed. And now we know he's the man. Just like Bobby Holik's unibrow. Oh, Mark Savard. What a guy. What a guy. You should sub to him on YouTube, by the way, if you're not already subbed to him. Derek McKenzie, Jim Slater. Oh, Atlanta. You're just the worst. Or at least you were. She plays the Thrashers just for Scott Barney. You know, I might. Again, we already looked at the, Boston. Martin Biron. And Ryan Miller at 25. Mika Noranen, Michael Layton. Oh, Michael Layton. Whoa, the defense here. Defense. Ends up finding a legend. Hey, that's how this works, man. It's the best part. You look back at this, then you rediscover Jeff Gilson, and you see how awfully cut out his hair is for that JPEG. It's a beautiful thing. Henrik Tallinder, also a beautiful person. Maximilian Ganoff. Mike Greer. Ryan Miller's face looks exactly the same. It really does. The man doesn't age. Jason Pominville. Gift Knob. Hell of a name. Thank you for the follow. Pominville doesn't have a picture. That's disappointing. Jochen Hesch. Thomas Vanek. God, imagine if the Sabres let go of Thomas Vanek for what, 4 first-round picks? What could have been? What could have been? Danny Briere. Shout out to the Maine Mariners. Chris Drury. Ah. We're going to play franchise. Probably. I'm going to poke around with everything this game has to offer, man. Derek Roy, Chris Taylor. I'm excited to see how the game actually plays. 2K5, which, again, I haven't done a video on, but I'll probably go back to do a video on at some point. Solid gameplay. Very, very impossible to score on higher difficulties. Oh, Kipper. Brent Cron. And Sebastian Cento... You're not real. Like, you're a developer. That they just threw into a hockey jersey and said, hey, we need a picture for this guy. Robin Regier. Roman Hammerlich, Jordan Leopold. What a team. And Dion Phaneuf. Look at him. That's the face of a man who knows he's going to play for the awful Maple Leafs in the near future. Hey, they were awful at the time. They're getting better. Oh, Andrew Ference. You think Brian Marchment's broke his nose a couple of times? You think he's broken his nose a couple of times? I guess this will be uploaded to YouTube. At this point, it might as well be. Screw it. I'm going to go through the whole thing. R.I.P. Steve Monador. I'm going to go through the whole thing anyway. Because, you know, you discover legends. Like Scott Barney. And that way anybody, so Jerome McGinley will fight but is not an enforcer. So my example was perfect. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Oh, look at Jerome. Look at Jerome. Future Hall of Famer. Future Hall of Famer. Tony Amani. Not in the Hall of Fame yet, but he should be. I think. That's the best picture of Sean Donovan you could find, huh? Looks like he just rolled out of bed. You get big air off of Marchment's nose. You're not wrong. Oh, Darren McCarty. One of Gary Thorne's best goal calls. Chuck Kovasu. Future Bruin. Okay, that's not a name. That's not a name. Somebody mistyped. Somebody mistyped. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Oh my god, he's real. 45, 5th round pick of Tampa. Former member of the Lightning, Flyers, Sharks. He's a former Portland Pirate, and he played again. Whoa! Hold on. This man is a legend. This man is a hero. You're not ready for this. You're not ready for this, okay? So number one, he's real, right? So we go down through the list, and right about there, he played 9 games for the Portland Pirates, which makes him my new best friend. But he played a game for the Boston Bruins, 31 penalty minutes in 1 game as a member of the Bruins. Round of applause, everybody. Brantt Myhres. 31 penalty minutes in 1 game as a Bruin. Oh, yes. He was on Spit and Chicklets. X-Tech, please find that link and send it to me, because I want to hear this man for the rest of my life. 31 penalty minutes in 1 game. The only game he played as a member of the Boston Bruins in 2002-2003. That is incredible. I love this man. You're damn right he's an enforcer. What's the grit? I want to know. 79, make it a 95. Oh my god. Hold on, we're going to YouTube right now. Please tell me like there's a highlight package of this game. Well, when you type in Brantt Myhres hockey, oh man, he fought Patrick Cote. He fought George Limerock a couple of times. He does have fights on YouTube. Tony Twist, Ryan Vandenbush. So yeah, everybody check out Brantt Myhres throwing hands on a YouTube channel near you, because goddamn, dude, he is a hero. He is a hero indeed. He had 687 penalty minutes in 154 career NHL games. Hold on, I'll show you this at least. I can't obviously play for anything fight related if I do put this up on YouTube. He was a team consultant for the Kings too, but in the NHL, 687 penalty minutes in 154 games, had 8 points. Oh my god, and in the AHL had nearly 500 penalty minutes in 167 games. Brantt Myhres, I love him. He is my new favorite player of all time. That is incredible. 31 penalty minutes in 1 game as a Bruin. Jesus, that is why you look through old rosters like this. That is tremendous. That is absolutely tremendous. Good old Lynn Loins. Hell of a name, but nothing. You know what? In fairness, I want to say nothing can top my boy Brantt here. But I didn't think anything could top the current Humboldt Broncos head coach. Damon Lankow's close though. Stephen Reinberg, Stefan Yell. Love Stefan Yell. Matt Lombardi, Byron Ritchie, Greg McDonald. That is awesome. He did fight Colton Orr. That was one of the links I saw on YouTube. Speaking of goons, and then we land on Chris Simon. You know what? I don't even care. I am going to put all this up on YouTube for the hell of it. But we're watching a Brantt Myhres fight. We're doing it. Oh, God. Patrick Cote, George Limerock, or Tony Twist. The Tony Twist quality looks terrible. He also fought Christophe Oliwa. Let's watch him fight. Oh, God, the quality. It's going to last forever, too. Please tell me that there's just like a knockout. I mean, they're throwing hands. Oh, it ended quickly. Damn. Damn. Alright, well, shit. Let me know if you find a good Brantt Myhres fight. Send it to me either in chat or on Twitter or something. Please. Please, please. Need a Portland Pirate jersey of Brantt. We really do. 22-year-old Cam Ward. The peak of his career. The peak of his career. Oh, shit. Here, Brent, by the way. Just so that you can do that and I don't have to care. There we go. The George Limerock fight. Can you play a dance for Brandt? I can't. But I can look at Brett Hedican and Glenn Wesley. Hero to us all. I like Davidovsky. I'm going to go out on a limb and say the soundtrack for this isn't great. Just gonna go out on a limb and say that. What are the odds? You know, I'm gonna leave the audio up for this when I put this on YouTube, and we'll see if I get copywritten by any of these no-name bands. For some reason, I don't think I will. He was suspended by the leagues for drugs 4 times. What kind of drugs, though? Because if you're gonna be like, oh, painkillers, it's like, yeah, no shit. He had 31 penalty minutes in 1 game. It's like, are you surprised? Oh, Aaron Ward. Nicholas Wally. Mike Commodore. Hero to us all. Hero to us all. Derek Walser. Andrew Hutchison. Who's going to be the next? Nice ears. Who's going to be the next Brantt Myhres? That's the question. Good old Justin. Jesus, he was only 24 then. Friggin' Justin. I hope Justin Williams comes back. Play another year. Radim Verbata, Pavel Brendel. What a bust you were. Greg Adams, Jesse Bulleries, Corey Stillman, Eric Cole, Ray Whitney, Bassett Sheck, Ryan Beta, Colin Forbes, and Nicholas Nordgren. Human Egg. Gordy Dwyer. Let's see. Brandt recreating the Ishi Shibata. Oh, hold on. I gotta watch that for sure. Heads, I believe. Hold on. Hired as King's assistant director. I mean... Wow, he got hit with a lifetime ban in the NHL. He's suspended 4 times by the league for what he called dirty drug tests and then hit with a lifetime ban. He's been clean and sober for 7 years. Holy shit. That is just that's just a weird situation. Dale Purrington. Oh, here we go. So this was the game. This was the game where he got 31 penalty minutes then. Number 55. Holy shit, they're just going for it. Dude, he got jerseyed and he never stopped throwing. Holy shit. That was a scrap and a half. He just never stopped throwing. Is he gonna throw a headbutt? He's not. Brantt Myhres, ladies and gentlemen. Appreciate that, man. Oh, God. That was a solid tilt. Getting jerseyed and you just don't stop throwing. What a hero. Rod Brindamore. Look at Eric Stahl. Can we just talk about that for a minute? Can we just talk about that for a minute? Good old Matt Cullen. Enjoy your retirement, sir. Kevin Adams. What does Kevin Adams look like? I don't know who he looks like. He reminds me of somebody. Like, if you were to be like, oh shit, who am I thinking of? If you were to be like, he's Pete Blackburn's cousin, I might believe you. He was banned for life. I mean, people have been banned for life before and have had things change. So, you know, those things can happen. Vogs, thank you for the follow. Let's see. Chicago, the Boolin Wall. Craig Anderson. And Adam Monroe. Old Craig Anderson. Blackhawks, great. Mom, take it easy, man. Colin looks like, you know, he would. Look at him. I mean, if that guy walks up to your girl at a bar, you just give up. You just walk away. You just walk away. You're not going to win. You just leave. Adrian Coyne. Kind of on the flip side, say you're like 16. You go to your girlfriend's house in high school, you walk up to the front door, and that man answers the door. You just leave. You just leave. Imagine being like, yeah, I'm gonna date Adrian Coyne's daughter. That is the most stern fatherly face I've ever seen in my life. Like, just don't even bother. That man will kick your ass for anything. Jesus. Miro Spacek's face. His hair just does something for me. It just, like, his hair is off-center from the rest of his head. I love it so much. Edison Cullimore, Jim Vandermeer. Anton Babchuk. Hurricanes great. Duncan Keith without a picture. Todd Simpson. They cut out a little bit too much of his hair from the JPEG. Good scrap he did in the NHL. Razor, send it to me on Twitter. Look at Brent Seabrook. Look at Brent Seabrook. 73 overall at that point. Michael Barenka, who just looks confused. Eric, some might say he's in a daze. Martin Lapointe, best goatee in the game. Martin Lapointe. You'll love to see it. I still have the tab open for Dixie Witch, by the way. Matthew Barnaby. Look at Barnaby. Igor Radulov just, again, looks confused. 31 minutes might have been in a preseason game. That would be hilarious. Pavel Vorobiev. The greatest unibrow in the game. Gord Dwyer was suspended 23 games for manhandling 2 officials. Jesus. It was a different game back then, folks. It was a different game. Kyle Calder was an 81. Mark Bell. Rene Bourque. The greatest hab of all time. Matt Ellison. Quentin Lang. Sean Thornton. Every Canucks fan's favorite player. Sean Thornton. Tuomo Ruutu, Tyler Arneson, Curtis Brown, Jim Dowd, Mikhail Yakubov, Jason Morgan. I don't believe you're real. That is actually Radulov's older brother. I was wondering when I saw the name, but I'm like, really? That's hilarious. Bring Igor back to the NHL. All right, that requires an Elite Prospects deep dive on Igor Radulov. That requires it. Good old Igor Radulov. Requires a deep dive. That is Alex Radulov's brother. Retired at 36. KHL great. Jesus. So he played less than 50 games in the NHL and then just said, fuck it, I'm going back to Russia. Which, I mean, in the KHL, 132 points in 345 games. That is not good. A lot of penalty minutes, though. And the Nadezhda Cup. He played for that, too. We learned something today. Time to look up Route 2. The Route 2 to 2-2. David Abisher and Peter Budaj. Sans picture, which is a damn shame. No David Abisher. Game was scheduled on September 29th, but the first game was scheduled on October. Elon, you're right, that might actually have been a preseason game. Rob Blake, the hip check master. Carlos Krasnich, what a man. Patrice Brisebois. John Michael Lyles. This song really sucks. This entire soundtrack sucks. But damn it, you're gonna listen to it. You are gonna listen to it. Although, now that you say that, you're right. It does suck. I'm turning my monitor volume down. You get to listen to it. I'm going back to enjoying my Spotify playlist because I'm just that big of a nerd. Ah! This might also get the copyright and the copyright on YouTube in trouble. It's there to be abused, and thus we will abuse it. Enjoy that playlist, nerds. Oh God, as bad as that is. Bob Boughner, future Florida Panthers head coach. Boughner, the Boogs, the same Bob Boughner. That is the same Bob Boughner. It is. Shit. Good old Bob Boughner. Got replaced by Joel Quenneville. Dude, he was the captain of the Calgary Flames in 2002. Really? He was the captain. Ryan Minister, it does because it's all automatic. He was the captain of the Calgary Flames in 01-02. Deej just woke up in a cold sweat. He did. O.C. Bannon, what a guy. Kurt Sauer, Brett Clark, and DJ Smith. Head coach of the Ottawa Senators, DJ Smith. Look at the pedigree that the Avs had on defense back in the day. That is tremendous. Milan Hajduk, one of my favorites. Marek Svatos. Ian LaPerriere. Dan Highnote. Cody McCormick, who hung around in the league for all the times. Paul Healy. Dennis Bonvie. Old Dennis Bonvie. Alex Tanguay. Still love Gary Thorne calling Alex Tanguay scoring a goal in the 01 Cup final. It's beautiful. Steve Konowalchuk, another great dude. The goatee was the thing. Like, man, if we were to have a tracker of how many solid goatees we've seen, it'd be ridiculous at this point. That was John Michael Isles. Andrew Brunette. Auntie Laxton. And Brad May. Speaking of great commentator calls. Wojciech Wolski. Peter Worrell. Matthew Darsh. Chris Bala. Joe Sakic, 36 at this point. Pierre Turgeon. Man, this team was alright. Darby Hendrickson. This team was solid. Brett McLean. Riku Hall. So you're the reason why the last name Hall is in NHL. He has to be. We all remember the great Essa Hall. Shout out to the OG Vancouver series back in the day. Riku Hall is the man that we have to had to thank for that surname being in the game. And Andre Savage. Great name. Columbus. Oh God. Oh God. Get Nasher in here so he can enjoy the finest of Blue Jackets teams. Mark Denis, Archer Zerbe was a Blue Jacket. Martin Prusak and Pascal Leclerc. The original hope for them in goal until he wasn't. And then it was Steve Mason until it wasn't. Oh, Adam Foote. Love me some Adam Foote. Brian Berard. Love me some Brian Berard. Callie Hulse, who has, that is a mugshot. Rusty Klesla. Luke Richardson. Radoslav Suchi. Scott LaChance. Aaron Johnson. Future Bruin. Duvio Escott. Still a great name. Jamie Pusher. Francois Jesus. They didn't think much of Francois Beauchemin at the time, did they? 71. Daryl Scoville. Great name as well. Tempted to look him up, but Jeff McMillan. Paul Manning. Who has the look of how the hell did I get here? You know what, Paul? Let's look up Paul Manning really quickly. Anything notable about Paul Manning? 3rd round pick of the Calgary Flames from Red Deer. Anything interesting? Jesus Christ. DEL legend Paul Manning. Played 8 NHL games. And that's it. He shouldn't even have been on this team. He was already playing for the Hamburg Freezers before the lockout. Why is he on this team? He was already in Germany. That doesn't make any sense. Cult/star player for the Hamburg Freezers. You don't say. That's the only notable thing, is that he shouldn't have been on this team. I went to high school in Red Deer, so Paul Manning and I are probably cousins. That's how it works. The best Manning, indeed. He also would have beaten Tom Brady in 2 Super Bowls. David Vaborny. Oh, Boris, what's up, man? Nikolai Zherdev. Speaking of draft busts. Also, I'm not going to question what's up with his face, because it might be a medical condition, and I don't want to appear to be insensitive, but it also just looks like a cut, and I'm intrigued. Tyler Wright. Mike Rupp. God, he looks so weird with that hair. Like, he held on to long hair for a little bit too long. Good old Mike Rupp, though. Yaroslav Balastik. Hannes Hoivanen, the most finished man to have ever lived. Joe Motzko. God, this team. Except for Rick Nash. Good old. I still hate that Rick Nash is retired. It's just sad. Trevor Letowski, Jason Chimera, Jody Shelley. Again, pretty sure he's had a couple of broken noses. Andre Netarost. Martin Spanel? Spanel. He was a player. Mike, you're related to Jay Pandolfo. I don't even have to look at his face. You are 1,000% Jay Pandolfo's brother. 1,000%. Yes, they are brothers. That I was like, you just look, and it's like, if there was anybody to ever be Jay Pandolfo's brother, you just look at the face. It's like, yeah, that's the same person. It's the same person. They're not twins. Who's the older brother, though, is the question. We're going back. 74. Mike is the younger brother of Jay Pandolfo. Current assistant coach with the Boston Bruins, Jay Pandolfo. Anything interesting about Mike? 3 NHL games? Not really. He was a decent NCAA player. 91 points and 2. Yeah, it never really worked out for Mike. Never really worked out for him. Oh God, Jody Shelley's picture's a mugshot, 100%. It's. You are not wrong. You are not wrong. Todd Marchand, Jan Hrdina. Speaking of draft busts. Gilbert Brule. My God. Manny Malhotra. What a guy. Dan Fritsch. Alex Svitov. It's just something about Mark Hardigan. Brad Moran. Eyebrows of the gods. Brad Moran. Ben Simon. Ben Simon. Hold on. I'm intrigued again. I'm intrigued. Ben Simon, are you related to Chris Simon? That's the assumption. You are not. You're not at all, actually. But it was worth a shot. And Greg Maldine, Peter Sarno. God, that Blue Jackets team was rough. That was rough. Oh, cover boy Marty Turco, only a 91. Johan Hedberg, Dan Ellis, and Mike Smith. Oh, the older pictures of Mike Smith. Just the greatest. Just the greatest. When Mikko Koskinen sucks, that right there is your starter, Edmonton. You shouldn't want anybody else to be your starter. Look at him. Sergei Zubov, Hall of Famer Sergei Zubov. John Clem, Philippe Boucher. Martin Skula. Avalanche, great. Trevor Daley. Don Sweeney. Donnie Dollars. Get a slow round of applause for GM of the Year, Don Sweeney. A beautiful man. Stefan Robida, before he had his own island. John Erskine, who that looks like a mugshot. Patrick Traverse. Yeah. Bill Guerin, who assaults teammates in practice. Matthias Jarnqvist. Junior Lassard, no picture. Mike Siklenka. I want to know. Mike Siklenka. Mike Siklenka. From Meadow Lake, Saskatchewan. Former Portland Pirate, never mind. Mike Saklenka, former Portland Pirate. Deserves a round of applause. Played in Austria a lot. That's the only real notable thing. Bill Guerin's not a 65. Bill Guerin's an 85. Yuri Lettinen. Never mind, he's the most Finnish man to have ever lived. Brendan Morrow. Antti Miettinen. Steve Ott. Stanley Cup champion Steve Ott. Yaroslav Svoboda. Jussi Jokinen. Sans picture. Garrett Burnett. With that pencil thin... Okay. Okay, hold on. Hold on, Garrett. I need to know here, because that is a interesting choice of facial hair. He's from BC. There ain't much. Career minor leaguer. Although, my God, is this gonna... That's Buff Bagwell. That is Buff Bagwell's father right there. He liked to take penalty minutes. 1,446 PIMs in 207 AHL games. Jesus Christ. The AHL's most penalized player. You don't say. That's a career highlights. Most penalized player. Oh my God. Jesus Christ. Don't you mess with that pencil-thin goatee. Don't you do it. Whew. That is a man who likes to fight. God damn. Mike Modano. Jason Arnott. Stanley Cup winning goal scorer Jason Arnott. Stu Barnes. Nico Kapanen. Who looks like somebody. I just can't put my finger on it. It's turned into let's look at everyone on Elite Prospects. It has, Cody, and my God, is that not a better direction to go? Let's see if the Red Wings are stacked. Chris Osgood and Manny Legacy. Jesus Christ, 5'9" and 5'10". Think goaltending's changed a little bit over the past 10 years? Nick Lidstrom, the greatest human being to ever live. Chris Chelios was 44 at the time. Matthew Schneider at 36. Yuri Fisher was an 80. Jason Woolley. It was an aging defense, though. Nick Kronwall, 76 overall. Brett Lebda, the greatest defenseman in Red Wings history. Andreas Lilia. Jamie Rivers. Again, I don't know what's with the difference in JPEG picture size. Brian Helmer. Thomas Holmstrom. Cale Samuelson. Mark Mowers. Bruins great Mark Mowers. Kent McDonald. Daryl Bootland. Still one of my favorite names. Shanahan with the Shanna plan. Look at Zetterberg. How did Jeff Blashill get an extension? Do not question Steve Yzerman. How dare you? That's a capital offense in the city of Detroit and the state of Michigan in general. Do not question. Do not question Steve Yzerman at any point. Kirk Maltby, Dan Cleary, Yuri Hoodler was 22 at this time. Jesus. Don McLean, you look a little bit disheveled, Don. Speaking of Steve Yzerman, don't question him. Look at Bootland's career PIMs. I know it's a lot. Oh my God. Okay, best hair. Best hair. Hall and extended Blashill. Yeah, but Yzerman could have fired him. Yzerman could have fired him. Look at Rob Lang's hair. That is glorious. Oh, Pavel Datsyuk. It's an 87. Chris Draper. Jason Williams. Eric Manlow. Oh, Eric Manlow. Johan Franzen was a 69. There's a good meme there, I'm sure. Lang's hair is fake. How dare you? That is real, sir. It has to be. Crazy. Oh, Ty Conklin. UC Markkinen, who couldn't win them a cup. Tyler Moss, who I'm almost convinced isn't real. We'll talk about fake hair. Chris Pronger's rocking the Ric Flair in '93 look. It's a beautiful thing. Jason Smith, Steve Stais, Marc-Andre Bergeron. Alexei Semenov, Igor Ulanov. My God, do you like Russians? Corey Cross, Mikko Luoma, I don't believe you're real. And Rocky Thompson, who was just mentioned in chat. I think he fought my new best friend Brantt. Good old Rocky Thompson. That guy, you can just tell by his face. He likes to fight. Ignore the whole fight and enforcer thing. That guy was a fighter. Jesus. Radek Dvorak. Hemsky. Fernando Pisani. God, this team almost won. George Larac. One off, looks like he's sitting down for an interview. Todd Harvey. Tony Samalainen. Maybe never. I mean, he doesn't quite replace Yuri Lettinen as the man who likes to fight the most, but it's close. It's pretty close. Ryan Smith. Hero and legend. Rafi Torres. Good old Rafi Torres. No comment on Rafi Torres. Ethan Morrow, Yanni Rita. Toby Peters. Jamie Wright. Mike Pekka. Sean Horkoff. Jared Stoll, Marty Reeves. And this was close to the Edmonton team that nearly won the cup, which is insane. Does Pisani have a broken nose? If you have to ask if someone has a broken nose in a game that came out in 2005 about hockey, the answer is probably yes. Oh my God, look at that stallion. Enjoy retirement, while also simultaneously costing Tyler Myers a lot of money. NHL Network's Jamie McLeod, Jean-Marc Pelletier, Patrick DeRochers, and Travis Scott. That JPEG is so horribly cut out, it hurts my eyes. Sean Hill. Jay Bouwmeester at 22. Stanley Cup champion, Jay Bouwmeester. Hurts me to say. Mike Van Ryn. Alex Karpatsev. Stanislav Meze. Okay, this defense was a little bit rough. This defense was a Burke Henry. And Dan Folt. Grant McNeil. Has a cut under it. Has a cut on the eyelid. You think he's a fighter? My God. The pictures on this game are the best part. Screw the overall ratings. Christian Bergel. All shoulders, apparently. Christian Bergel. All shoulders, but no traps. Christian Bergel, from the looks of it. Dennis Shavitke. Oh, look at Gregory Campbell. Look at him. Look at him. Toby Peterson. Isn't this Toby Peterson's first season? I think so. Ty Jones. Good old Soupy. Gary Roberts was still kicking. Christian Salius. Martin Jelena, who should have had a Stanley Cup winning goal. That's right, Tampa. I said it. Kwiatkowski looks like Ron Hainsey. Kind of. I could believe that they're cousins. At least. Nicholas Hagman's hair. My God. Make that an emote on Twitch. Nicholas Hagman's hair. Oh my God, he's been one-upped. You want to talk about potentially fake hair? Eric Badan. The Badoin. My God, Eric Badan. Hold on. Hold on a second. Oh, God. Former draft pick of the Lightning. He didn't play in the U.S. much. He went overseas. Anything notable? Not really. But he has great hair. He was the head coach. He head coached the team in Switzerland B for like a season. Josh Olson. Ryan Jardine, who I'm not convinced is real. Eric Badan. That is amazing. Looks like Andy Sandberg playing a hockey player. I'll take it. Roman Cechmanek. One of the best goalies of all time. Hagman looks like Greg Valentine. He does, though, too. I forgot to look at centers on Florida. He does. It's beautiful. Olli Jokinen. I am jealous of that jersey the X-Tech has. Joe Nieuwendyk. Nathan Horton. Literal owner of the city of Vancouver. Joseph Stumple. Chris Gratton. Stephen Weiss. Great hair. Future Red Wings great. Vaclav Netarost. Rostislav Olash. Serge Payer. Camille Piros. God, this team wasn't great. It wasn't great. Matthew Garon and Jason LaBarbera, also on Los Angeles. Not bad. Mattias Nordstrom, Olubo Vishnowski, Aaron Miller, Tim Gleason. Future best defenseman on the Toronto Maple Leafs. Nathan Dempsey, Joe Corvo, future best defenseman on the Boston Bruins. Dennis Grabeshkov, you one hell of a bust. Brad Fast. Great name. Oh, God. Jason's seen some rough times. Tomas Ziska. Mike Weaver. Oh, poor Mike Weaver. No respect. No respect to Mike Weaver. That is rough. Warrior, what's up, man? No respect to Mike Weaver at all. 70 rated. It's brutal. Valerie Bure. The Bure. Dustin Brown at 21. What a guy. Tom Kostopoulos. George Peros with no facial hair. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know how I feel about that. Thoughts? Thoughts on George Peros without the facial hair? It's a little bit weird. They did not have Dan Cloutier. Oh, God. Alex Froloff. Luke Robitaille was still playing. Sean Avery. Everyone's favorite player, Sean Avery. Yelling at people for driving in the bike lane. Noah Clark. Chris Schmidt. Ryan Flynn. AHL fighting legend. Jeremy Roenick looks miserable. Pavel Dimitra. We miss you every day. Craig Conroy. Mike Camilleri. Derek Armstrong. Eric Belanger. Esa Pirnez. Never mind. You are the most Finnish man to ever exist. Steve Kelly. That was an interesting Kings team that just didn't get it done. Dwayne Rollison. Before he went to Edmonton that same season and nearly won a cup. Manny Fernandez. Edmonton probably would have won the cup had Rollison not gotten hurt that year. Philip Kuba. One of my favorites. Nick Schultz. Willie. X-Tech, are you still in here, buddy? I need your opinion on this picture of Willie Mitchell. I need your opinion on that. I'm conflicted, personally. You know, I'm not going to comment on Daniel Tarnkvist. We'll just let that be. Andre Zuzin. Speaking of players looking weird without facial hair. 21-year-old Brent Burns. Scott Ferguson, Alex Henry, and Curtis Foster. Gabo. Alex Daig. Still rocking an 80 at that point somehow. Kyle Wanvig is not a happy boy. Matt Foy. Eric Westrom does not have good intentions. Kirby Law. Joey Tedarenko. Another former Panthers enforcer. Is a goatee mandatory? Yes. For most. Pascal Dupuis. Stefan Veilleux. The brightest hair I've ever seen. Andre Nazaroff. Christoph Brandner. 6'7". The Boogeyman. The Boogeyman. Brian Ralston. A hero to us all. Todd White. That's just a painful smile, Todd. That's just, like, it looks painful with Getzlaf in this game. Yes. Did he have hair? Yes. Wes Walls. Pierre-Marc Bouchard. Before he just decided, okay, I'm giving up on this whole hair thing. Mark Schwannard. Randy Robitaille. Ricard Wallin. Oh, that Minnesota team. There were some good points to it. Montreal. Jose Theodore. Cristobal Huet. And Olivier Michel. Defense, Sheldon Surrey. It's an 83. Andre Markov was only an 80. That's disrespectful. Craig Rive. Matthew Dandino. Mike Komisarek. Francois Bouillon. There's Ron Hainsey. We knew he'd be here somewhere. He was only 25. Still looked like he was 37. Carl Deckis. Okay, Jesus, that is like the worst quality JPEG I think I've ever seen. Jonathan Aitken. Just killed a man. That is when they took... Okay, Jonathan? Are you currently in prison for killing a man? Because if I had to guess, that's what Jonathan Aitken's up to. He's in prison for killing a man. He was oh my God. 8th overall of the Bruins in 96. That man was an 8th overall pick. Whew. Granted, this was the Chris Phillips going number 1. But like Ruslan, he played 2, oh God. 2 seasons, 44 games. Oh God. Now this was a notoriously god-awful draft, but... Ooh. I mean, fuck. Marco Sturm went 21st. Danny Briere went 24th. But Jonathan Aiken. No, I did not misspell it. Are you... Okay, he looked a little bit happier in that picture. He's not in prison. Happy to report, currently not in prison. He also won the Calder Cup. Won the Calder Cup in 98, 99. With the Providence Bruins. Didn't put up a point in the playoffs. But that man's got a ring. The bust you weren't aware of, indeed. And then Jeff Paul, who has seen some shit. Alex Kovalev is in 88. Richard Zednik in 86. Michael Ryder, the greatest Boston Bruin of all time. Nicholas Sundstrom. Alex Perez-Hogan. Jan Bulish. Pierre Dagny. Steve Bayshant. And Turtleneck himself at 23. Garth Murray. This Habs team had some depth struggles. He missed 7 years towards the end of his career. Prison time. It might have been. It might have been. Radek Bonk, Sans Mullet. Mike Ribeiro. Chris Higgins. Gavin Morgan. You're not real. Convinced you're not real. Nashville with Thomas Vokoun. Brian Finley, a gigantic bust. And Chris Mason. Doing his best chin strap / goatee. Because again, it was mandatory. Kimmo Timonen. Marek Zalewski. That is not a bad defense. Danny Markov. Dan Hamhuis with the goatee. And 21-year-old Ryan Suter. That is a solid defense. Mark Eaton. Jamie Allison, who probably killed a man. Kirill Safronov. Scott Walker. Hate your guts. Vladimir Orsov. Adam Hall in his chin of steel. Jordan Tutu. Scotty Upshaw. Man, this Nashville team, man. Darren Haydar, who was at least a great AHLer. Jonas Anderson. Alright, Jeremy Yablonski. I'm intrigued, Jeremy. I'm intrigued. 6 foot, 233. He has a team staff profile page as well. St. Louis Blues, great. Oh, trivia. Trivia is a mixed martial arts fighter in his spare time. Oh, God, Jeremy. Look at him! He's a tank! Unless that's him and he's more in shape. That's probably him. He just probably cut down. Solid kick. Oh, Yablonski! Yep, Jesus Christ, giving him the business. Way to go, Jeremy Yablonski. Way to go, Jeremy. Way to go. You did it. He coached in the KHL, too. Was a player / assistant coach. Jeremy Yablonski. One NHL game, you bet your ass he got in a fight in that one NHL game. Jeremy Yablonski. Oh, God. What a guy. What a guy. Oh, Paul Correa. Off the floor, on the board. Steve Sullivan, Martin Erat. You're going to get traded for Philip Forsberg and be a laughingstock for the rest of your career, unfortunately. Oh, Scott Hartnell before he grew out the hair. He was only 24 there. Christ. Timofey Shishkinov. Stoned as hell. Jeremy Stevenson. Simone Gamache. Libor Pivko. Darcy Hordichuk. Jim McKenzie. Warrior with that gifted sub. What a guy. David Legwand. Greg. Oh. That is untimely. R.I.P. Mr. Greg Johnson. Yannick Perreault. Dennis Arkhipov. Chris Beach. Scott Nickel. Vernon Fiddler. Tony, I'm actually 68 years old. Herkach. Greg Clausen, Jared Smithson, future fourth-line centerman for the Leafs. Oh, God. Yeah, Jay, they botched any opportunity they had with this team for a while. Martin Brodeur. Ari Ahonen, who had the easiest job in sports, being Martin Brodeur's backup. Scott Clemens, who was 28 at this point. Brian Rafalski was only 32 somehow. Richard Mapachuk, Dan McGillis, Paul Martin. Look at him. Who would eventually be called terrible. If you made a UFC of former NHL enforcers, who would be the top 5? Oh, God. Well, obviously, I mean, you know, putting them in the UFC or just MMA, like, low level. But Brantt Myhres is my number 1. By far. By far. And Bobby Allen's... Nah, Ray Schultz might be my second. So look at him. Connor McDavid was only 8 at this point, right? Alex McGillney, Victor Kozlov, Jamie Langenbrunner. Brian... Jesus Christ, that winger depth. Mogilny, Kozlov, Langenbrunner, and Brian Gianna. Whew. Grant Marshall, Alex Suglobov, Patrick Eliash, Sergei Brelin, Jay Pandolfa, Thomas Peelman, Christoph Oliwa, who punched everything that moved. Warrior with another gifted sub, what a guy. Darren Langdon. And then Scott Gomez. Hab and Ranger great Scott Gomez. John Madden, Zach Parise at 21. Eric Rasmussen. This Devils team wasn't terrible on paper. And video game on paper. There we go. Rick DiPietro. That's the good stuff. And Garth Snow right behind him. Funny, Garth, everyone made the same face when they realized you were still going to be the GM of the team for much longer than you should have been. Wade DeBielewicz. And Dieter Kokan, or Kochan. The Kokken. His name is Dieter. Good old Dieter. Yanni Niinima, who, if I had to pick a lookalike, I'd probably pick Sinski. Alexei Zhitnik was an Islander. I don't remember that at all. Is that really the best picture, like the best picture of Brent Sopel you could have gotten? Radek Martinek, Brad Lukowicz, Chris Campoli, Joel Bouchard, Alan Rourke, who has seen some shit, Tommy Petnin, Evgeny Korolev, Mark Parrish, Trent Hunter, customary chin strap there, of course. T.S. Widehandle, Robert Nilsson, Jeff Hamilton, Eric Goddard. Well, that's a name I haven't heard in a while. Eric Goddard. Miroslav Shatan. Who's like a mayor of a town now or something. Oleg Kavasha, Jason Blake. Future Leafs great. Sean Bates. Aaron Asham. They had some potential face punchers on this team. Sean Bergenheim. Travis Brigley. Barrett Heiston. I don't know who that is. Alexei Yashin. Oh, Alexei Yashin on the Islanders. What a time to be alive. Mike York. Justin Papineau. Justin Mapletop. Solid goatee. My God, if someone counted the goatees, we'd be in triple digits at this point. Petri Nokalainen, Wyatt Smith, Ryan Kraft. Those were your New York Islanders at the time, huh? Oh, NHL Network's Kevin Weeks. I think he might be on NBC. Henrik Lundqvist at 24. And Stefan Valakets. Good old Stephen Valaket. Kasparaitis on defense. Tom Pody. Merrick Malik. Did you know he scored a shootout goal? Carl Rakunik. Feder Tootin at 22. Michael Roosevelt. Thomas Pak. Maxim Kondratiev, he is judging you. He is judging you. Jason Strudwick. He's a Bryce Lampman. Holy shit. One quick thing, I need to look up Bryce Lampman really quick because that name is standing out to me for some reason. What's up with Bryce Lampman? I don't know what's up with Bright. Former Portland Pirate. That's what he was. He played 8 games for the Portland Pirates. Let's talk about Dale. I will kill you in your sleep, Puritan. Because Jesus Christ, man. 5th round pick of the Rangers. Oh, God. 578 penalty minutes in 181 career NHL games. And never really coached anywhere despite having a team profile. That is a solid mustache, though. Martin Grenier, who has the worst, by far the worst JPEG image I've ever seen. That is horrific. Jaromir Jagr, who looked like he was 20 compared to 34. Might as well have been for how long he's played. Jed Ortmeyer. I'm surprised he doesn't have the fight option. Jason Ward and Peter Pruka. Doesn't have a picture. Martin Straka. Marty Rushinsky. Ville Nieminen. Marcel Hossa. Alex Giroux. Fedor Fedorov. Chad Wiseman. Ryan Hallweg, who would eventually go on to have an amazing mustache. Richard Scott. Richard Scott, huh? Steve Ruchin, who cannot believe what he's just witnessed. Michael Nylander. Dominic Moore. That's just weird to see Dominic Moore as a Ranger. Jeff Taff. Blair Betts. Mike Green as a center. This is what this entire look through the roster has been building up to. Mike Green, future Washington Capital great Mike Green, listed as a center. Either that, or they screwed up the picture, I guess, because he's 26. So they just used the wrong picture. There's no way it's that Mike Green, because real life Mike Green is only 33. He's turning 34. So they used Washington prospect Mike Green's picture for Mike Green of the New York Rangers, which makes me wonder, who the hell was that Mike Green? What does the actual Mike Green that's supposed to be look like? I think this is it. Like I said, there's no way that's the actual Mike Green, considering nowadays that Mike Green is 33. So, yeah, the ages don't work out. But this Mike Green, I don't even think is the actual Mike Green. Because this game came out in 2005. Does that equal out 14? Yeah, it does equal out 14 years. So this is the guy. He played 13 games for the Rangers after playing for the Panthers. And then went to Germany. Played for the Macon Whoopee, though. So, you know, former scout for the Vancouver Giants. Another case of a game using the wrong picture. You'd love to see it. Real life Mike Green was drafted. You say real life Mike Green. This Mike Green existed. They just used the wrong picture. And then there's Lane Ulmer. Good old Lane Ulmer. Dominic Hasek starts us off in Ottawa, and Ray Emery. R.I.P., sir. Ah, look at that beautiful man. The now oldest player in the NHL. And he's still better than your favorite player, Zdeno Chara. And then Wade Redden was an 86. The good old days of Wade Redden being a good hockey player. Chris Phillips, former #1 overall Chris Phillips. Anton Volchenko, Brian Pothier, Andre Mazzaros. That hair is something special. At 20 years old, that is something special. Tomas Malik, Philip Novak, Julian Vauclair, rocking the goatee. Lance Ward. That's a lot of forehead. Jesse Fibiger. Jesse. I don't believe you're real. Oh, look at Alfie. Look at the hair. That is model material. Danny Heatley. That picture's just weird. Brandon Bochenski. Chris Neal. And Jeff Harima. Brian McGrath. Hero to us all. Former Providence Bruin, Brian McGrath. Martin Havlat, 86. Peter Schaefer. Vaclav Ferrata. Antoine Vermette. Dennis Hamill. Chris Kelly. What a guy. Jason. See, that's why it's weird, man, to see Jason Spezza in a Leafs jersey. It's just weird. Like, it's sorry. He's a Sen or he's not. Mazzaros looks like Oogie Eaglethorpe. He does. You think the Sedins will have the same overall? That's a very good question. We're going to find out soon. Ryan Smolinski, Mike Fisher, Steve Martins. Just happy to be here. Steve Martins. Charlie Stevens. I don't know who either of those two are. I consider myself fairly familiar with the quote-unquote nobodies of this era, but I don't know. Robert Ashe, Antero Ninimaki, and Jamie Storr. And then Neil Little, just randomly there. Darian Hatcher. Legend. Darian Hatcher. Kim Janssen. Eric Desjardins. Man, this Philly defense. Yanni Pikkinen. Mike Rathje. It just looks like a bunch of dads that'll kick your ass, doesn't it? I mean, come on. And Marcus Ragnarsson doesn't help that label. Chris Therien doesn't help that label. Dennis Seidenberg with hair! The German Hammer! Look at him! He has hair! He's gorgeous. Matthias Tamander. Randy Jones. I don't know what's happening with Randy Jones there, but sure. John Slaney. Freddie Meyer. Mike Knuble. Great Mike Knuble. Bronco Radavojevic. I could never pronounce his name. Jeff Carter. Look at Jeff Carter. With the fresh, yeah, I'm out of the QMJHL, I think he was. I'm fresh out of junior and I dyed my hair, because why not? 21-year-old Jeff Carter. Turner Stevenson. Radovan Somik. Eric Schwannard. Pat Cavanaugh. Eric Mellock. Yeah, this Philly team. They like to fight. Simon Gagne. Sammy Kapanen. Brian Savage. Donald Brashear. And his eyebrows. Jonathan Sim. My God, they had a lot of face punchers. Peter Forsberg as a Flyer. Ugh. Carter was OHL. That's what I thought. But whenever I think of like the whole trend of QMJHL players dyeing their hair, I think of like Bergeron and Marchand. Keith Primo. Michael Hanzus. Mike Richards. Back when there was a whole lot of promise. Claude Lapointe rocking the goatee, as is required. Patrick Sharp and Peter White. That's an interesting Flyers team, though, man. Oh, God. I'm having fun with this. We haven't done this in a while. Cujo in Phoenix. Brian Boucher. Zach Bierk, who was really good and then stopped being really good. Like, I remember looking up this guy's stats before. Like, he had, like, one really, really good season or something like that, and then just disappeared. It's 9th round pick of the Lightning. He has a team profile page, too. But let's look at this. So, in Tampa, he kind of struggled. Went to Minnesota, kind of struggled. Yeah, so see, right there for Phoenix. 16 games, a ridiculous 932, and then crashed back down to reality and just retired. It's the strangest thing I've ever seen. Like, how out of nowhere does he go from being god-awful in the AHL, he did okay in the ECHL, but then posts a 932, and then just stops playing within 2 years? It's so weird. So weird. He ended up being the goaltending coach for the Oshawa Gent. Still, or just... Wow, okay, he just signed on with the Coyotes as the goaltending coach. Shit, that's kind of cool. That he ended up going back to Arizona? Huh. That's pretty sick. That is pretty sick. Gift knob with the prime sub. Appreciate it, man. Oh, look at that goatee, though. Not to undersell, and yeah, drop those bobs in chat, if you will. Not to undersell the prime sub, but look at that goatee. My God, goatees aplenty. The Phoenix Coyotes. There'll always be the Phoenix Coyotes. Derek Morris. Paul Mara. Dennis Gauthier. This isn't too bad of a defense, I suppose. David Tanabe, Sean O'Donnell, a couple of former Bruins and future Bruins. Brad Ferentz. Keith Ballard. This Coyotes defense wasn't that bad. Sipnick McCulloch was 23 at the time. Nico Celios. Rick Berry. And Chris McAllister. Resident face puncher. How can you be that small in a goalie? Because it was a different time, man. That's what I was saying earlier, Razor, is that just over like the past, even just the past 10 years, goalies have gone from being like, yeah, you can be 5'11", to like, no, you're Zach Bierk height now. It's just how the Jets are looking okay. They sure are. Shane Doan. Shane Doan. Brett Hull, the drunkest man on the planet to this day. Brett Hull. Doan was an 88. Mike Johnson. Freddie Sjustrom. Sheldon Keefe. Sheldon Keefe. Will he ever go to the NHL? That's up to the future to decide. Tim Jackman, Ladislav Nagy and Jeff Sanderson, Mike LeClaire, Oleg Saprikin, Tyson Nash. Dude, this team looks like it'd be pretty fun. Hull was on the Coyotes. He was. Martin Sonnenberg. This is why we're here. This is why we're here. That is the man that we have to thank for that last name being in the NHL games to this day, Mike goddamn Stützle. Yes. That is why we do this. Fucking Stützle. Oh, was a Coyote for 9 games and that's it. He ended up playing in Edinburgh as well. Let's see, AHL. Wasn't even a penalty minute guy. At least in the AHL, he was a little bit in the ECHL. But he's the reason. Mike Stützle is the reason. Tremendous. Saprikin was a Flame in 04. That 04 Flames team kind of broke apart pretty quickly, though. And we've seen a lot of guys, and then Doug Dowell, another former Bruins guy. But yeah, that Flames team kind of broke apart pretty quickly. Bappers, thank you for the follow as well. Stützle, yeah, Prime Minister, of course Stützle's the name in 19. Peter Nedved, Mike Comrie, Mike Ricci and his amazing hair. I mean, if we were to have like the all-hair team of 2K6 against the all-goatee team, I don't know who would win, because they'd both be amazing teams. Christopher Kalanos, Jamie Lundmark, and Boyd Devereaux. Oh, Boyd Devereaux. I love that Phoenix team. That is a beautiful, beautiful team. Pittsburgh, Jocelyn T-Ball, and Marc-Andre Fleury at 21. Sebastian Caron and Andy Chiodo. Flower, though, 21 at this point. Check the name bank for every meme name. Elon, they didn't have any updated names yet at the time, but I imagine they'll have updated names since they've recorded new commentary. But trust me, I looked. Like I said, the build that we played in April was, I don't want to say like a halfway point, but it wasn't like the live build that they were actively working on. So, Sergei Gonchar, Dick Tarnstrom, Brooks Orpik at 25, just retired too. Lyle Odeline, Rick Jackman, Joseph Melchar, Martin Sturback, Steve Popst, Ross Lubashchuk. I don't believe you're real. Rob Scuderi, I know is real. Oh my, it's like looking in a mirror. Oh God. I didn't tell you I was in an NHL game back in the day, did I? Oh God. Whew. Let's look up Chris Kelleher, shall we? I was in an NHL game. Chris Kelleher, 5th round pick. He's from Massachusetts. Oh God, Boston University. He played for the Bruins. Of course he did. He's wearing the jersey. I thought it was just a Providence jersey though. Oh God. And he was a scout. He's still a scout for Minnesota unless he just got fired. He's a pro scout for the Wild. Won an NCAA title. That is amazing. Oh, is that your brother? No, that's me. Oh, God. That is the greatest thing I've ever seen. Oh, God. That is the greatest thing I've ever seen. Oh, make that an emote. I wish I could. Let me see if I can find like a bloated up picture of him. Oh, God. That is tremendous. That is fucking tremendous. Oh, that made this entire thing worth it for sure. That made this entire thing worth it. Oh, God. Will you sign my card for me, Chris, right? I like X-Tech's dad. That's... he looks like Fit Finley. He really does. Oh my God, he does have a Bruins card, too. MVP is a little bit... That's a little bit... It's a little bit questionable. You mean to tell me he didn't wear the glasses when he played? Oh, God. I am so happy. This is the greatest moment in the history of this channel. Chris Kelleher. Oh, God. Tyler, what's up? Have you met my dad? Also known as me? Whatever one you prefer. Oh, Cooper Huckabone is a great name. Thank you for the bits, Bozak, by the way. Buy a Kelleher jersey. I should. I just want to see if there's a better picture of him. If I look up Chris Kelleher hockey. I mean, he has there's not much evidence that he even exists. I need to meet this man. Apparently he's still alive. Apparently he's still alive. Which is the greatest thing I've ever seen. Please tell me somebody clipped that, like, the last 2 minutes of the chat, by the way. We go from Stutzel to this guy. I mean, come on. Please tell me somebody clipped that. 100% your dad. I need to meet this man. I need to meet this man. Can we make this happen? Hold on. I'm gonna go to the Minnesota Wild. Hold on. On that post. At Minnesota Wild. Can you please put me in contact with my real dad? Appreciated. Oh, God. We'll see if the Minnesota Wild respond to that. Like, I'm done. I'm done on YouTube and Twitch. It's all downhill from here. This is what this entire journey was building up to, was discovering... was this moment. That's what we've been here for. That's what we've been here for. What else is there to do? What else is there to do? I'm retiring after this. I'm done. Oh, God. It's all downhill from here, too, even though that picture of Ziggy Palffy's great. I love Ziggy Palffy and Mark Recchi. Oh, God. Alexei Morozov. Like, at this point, I can't even care. We have absolutely peaked. Good old Ryan Vandenbush. God, John McClare, Ryan Malone. Jesus. It's gonna take something special. Not even like Guillaume Lefebvre's fucking weird-ass face is gonna help. Oh, God. Jesus, what a moment. Mario's still in the game. How? Whoa! Crosby's in? What the fuck? Crosby's in without a roster update? Or did the... Because he's not an NHL 06 by default. What the hell? Did 2K get Crosby, but NHL 06 didn't before an update? How is that possible? This game came out November 22nd of 05 on the 360. Holy shit. When did NHL 06 come out? NHL 06 came out September 6th. So, I mean, this game came out 2 months later. I guess that's why. So, this came out... Okay, so, here. So, NHL 2K6 came out on September 7th in the North America, right? NHL... NHL 06 came out the day before. But NHL 06 wasn't out for next gen. 2K actually beat NHL out to next gen. They dropped November 22nd, which means the season would have already started. The post-lockout season would have already started, because of course we missed 04-05. So Crosby wouldn't be in the game on PS2 or original Xbox, but on the next gen version of 2K6, he's in the game, which means Ovechkin's in the game, which is fucking awesome. That's sick. So, man, that's crazy, though, too. The 2K6 was their first version on Next Gen, and obviously NHL 07 was EA's first version on Next Gen. That's a really interesting set of circumstances. So unless you had a roster update, you wouldn't get Crosby on the game's default rosters unless it's the Next Gen 360 version of 2K6. That's fucking awesome. That's awesome, man. I wasn't expecting that at all, that Crosby would be in this game, but that's sick. That is sweet. Milan Kraft is in. Rico Fata, Mike Eastwood. Max Talbot. Big fan of My Chemical Romance, Max Talbot. But then again, weren't we all? Michael Sevick. I don't know if Mike Eastwood's related to Clint. I did see as well, I just looked on Twitter that the Angels have a no-hitter going, which is crazy. I hope they get it. And Matt Hussey. Dude, this Penguins team was the gift that kept on giving. From my dad to having Sidney Crosby in the game because the Next Gen version came out a month later. That is insane. That is insane. That's awesome that the Crosby's in the game. Even then they knew his defense was a bit suspect. He actually throws checks a bit often too. 78 grit. I don't know about that one. I don't know about 78 grit for 18-year-old Crosby. I don't know about that one, Chief. Even Mario Lemieux admitted he was a bit of a... Well, let's go with the word brat. That sums it up pretty well. High aggressiveness is fine. Leadership, nerve, star power, composure shouldn't have been up there, but 59 toughness is probably accurate. Can you go back to Endicott? Yeah, that's a pretty bad JPEG. That's a pretty bad JPEG. We go to San Jose, Evgeny Nabokov. And Vesa Toskala, the greatest goaltender this side of Andrew Raycroft in Maple Leafs history. Kyle McLaren, my favorite, although not Habs fans' favorites at all. Brad Stewart, soon to be traded for Joe Thornton, but we don't have to talk about that. Oh my god, Scott Hannon's luxurious hair. My god. Christian Ehrhoff at 23. Tom Pricing. Jim Fahey. Rob Davis. Josh Georges in San Jose. Jonathan Chichu when he was good. Alex Korolyuk. Nico Dimitrakos. Ryan Clough. Still a shame how he's having complications. It's cool that the Newfie Growlers won the cup even though he wasn't a part of it. Josh Langfeld killed a guy. That's not a statement, that's just judging off the picture. Scott Parker, rocking that sweet goatee, as is required. Marco Sturm, beautiful. Niels Ekman. What does he look like? He looks like a mix of like Matt Sundin and Daniel Alfredson. Scott Thornton, beautiful facial hair. And Milan Mahalik at 21. What a guy. Patrick Marleau. Alan McCauley. Wayne Primo, soon to be traded for Joe Thornton. We don't have to talk about it. Marcel Gotch. Neil Patrick Harris. Yes. Yes. So we found Neil Patrick Harris's dad, too. Wayne Primo is the happiest man alive, though. Marcel Gotch, not so much. Oh, my God. What happened to Pat Rice-Miller? Or Rissmiller, perhaps, because I don't know if he's outright German. What the hell? What happened? Is he alive? He looks like he's on death's door there. Holy shit. He's alive. Current development coach for the Devils. From Belmont as well. Same place as my dad, apparently. My God. Like, he doesn't look good. Like, that is a brutal picture. Like, that's fucking substance abuse related issues type of picture. That just doesn't look well on him. But he is currently still, or at least was last year, employed by the Devils. Whew. St. Louis, Patrick Lalime, rocking the sweet goatee. Reinhard Divis. Good old Reinhard Divis. Jason Bakashua, who still looks like Deej's cousin. And Curtis Sanford. Not a bad group of goaltenders. Holtbeast, we found my dad, and this game is the greatest thing I've ever seen for that reason alone. Eric Brewer, Barrett Jackman, who looks like he'd just murder you in a fight. Eric Weinrich. It's like looking into a mirror in the future. It's going to be great. Christian Backman, Bryce Salvador, Matt Walker, Doug Lynch. Doug Lynch. Oh, God, who's the player that he looks like? He's an AHL guy. Chad Butcher. Rocking the Chad Butcher haircut. Look it up. Mike Motto. A hero to us all. Mike Stewart. Andy Roach. Eris Bremanis. Hell of a name. Jeff Wojcicka. No respect on Jeff Wojcicka. Dallas Drake. Scott Young. Eric Boganecki. Jamal Mayers. That is the worst picture of anybody I've ever seen. Mark Rycroft. Wow. Jesus. Jeff Hogan. Jamie? Jammy. Your name's not Jamie. Your name's Jammy. Is that, like, hold on. Like, did your parents just misspell your name, or did the game? No, that's his name. Jammy Pollock. They didn't forget an I. His name is just outright Jame. Cool. Former Seattle T-Bird and Worcester Ice Cat. Go Cats. He has a team profile on Elite Prospects as well. Hold on. He was just a high school head coach. Okay. Aaron Downey. Reed Lowe rocking the goatee. Every enforcer needed the goatee. So Pollock was born in QC, but he played for the Seattle T-Birds. Let's see. Keith Kachuk, Dean McCammond, and Peter Sana. And centers, Doug Waite, Mike Sillinger. I don't even know who Mike Sillinger looks like. Peter Kanik, Ryan Johnson, Trent Whitfield and his amazing hair. Oh, God, Dunno, that was the worst. Jay McClement. Tampa, Sean Burke and John Graham. Pavel Kabinin on defense. Daryl Sador and his amazing hair. Dan Boyle was an 82. Corey Sarich, Nolan Pratt, Timo Helving, Todd Roloff. Martin St. Louis at a 93. Ruslan Fedotenko. Rob DeMaio. Aero Somerviori. Hell of a name. Jim Campbell. And Norm Milley. Vinny Prospel. Freddie Modine. Dave Andrewchuk was still kicking. Dmitry Fenestenkov. Jimmy Ovestan. Chris Dingman. Rocking the goatee. Sillinger looks like a cylinder. Bravo. Dude, my God, the goatee. Vinny LeCavalier, future Kings and Flyer great. Brad Richards and his amazing hair. Future Blackhawk great. Tim the Toolman Taylor. Martin C. Oh, Martin. What happened to you, Martin? Who hurt you? Don't you love how they cut out the hair at the top? Gab, thank you for the follow. Eric Perrin. Jason Jaspers. Jared Skalda. Who looks like Kari Lettinen. Is that actually a picture of Kari Lettinen? That's Kari Lettinen's picture, isn't it? Is that not Kari Lettinen? It is! They used two different pictures of Kari Lettinen. What the fuck? I thought that's who it was. They absolutely used two different pictures of Kari Lettinen. So they got Mike Green wrong and used two different pictures of Kari Lettinen. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Have I checked the sends? I have, but don't worry, I'll be putting all this up on YouTube probably. We got the Toronto. Ed Belfour at 41. He just wants to go home and have a nap. J.S. O'Ban and Mikhail Telkvist, who just doesn't understand what you just said. Brian McCabe. Thomas Caberlet. Future Bruins great. We got Ben, we do have a Ben Bishop, Josh Bailey situation again. What'd you send me? Jared Skalda. Yeah, that is not what he looks like in 2K6. My God, he played for a long time. Jesus. He had a hell of a career. Was the coach of the Guelph Storm for a while and was an assistant for the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins. Jared Skalda. Had a decent career. Can you please go back to Dallas Drake? What team was he on? There you go. He looks like a thumb. He kind of does. Kind of does. Ken Klee. Alex Kavanagh. Oh boy. Aki Berg. Great hair. Carl Pilar. Doesn't look happy to be there. Carlo Koliakovo. What a guy. Pierre Hedin. Andy Wisniewski. Wade Belak. R.I.P. Brad Brown. Mark Morrow. Happy to be here. Oh, God. Jeff O'Neill. My God. How many TSN analysts and Sportsnet analysts do you need on one team? Oh! Bow to the captain of the goatee team. It's Owen Nolan. The captain. Oh. The captain of the goatee team. Mariusz Czerkawski. Ty Domi. Was 36 at this point. David Ling. Oh boy. Alright. Nathan Perreault. Or Perrot, perhaps. Like, you can't convince me that he didn't make that face on Perfect. Oh boy. This is just the game that keeps on giving. It really is. Darcy Tucker. Wasn't Perreault mentioned on the Steve Dangle podcast? Something about one of his trades kicking something off. Maybe. I'm also behind, though, on the Steve Dangle podcast, so if it was mentioned within the past month and a half, I'm still behind. Because, again, I don't often listen through the winter months, because I save them for dog walks. I'm not going back to Dustin Brown at this point. Harold Druken. Harold Druken. Love to see it. Matt Sundin, Jason Allison, Eric Lindros, Nick Antropov, and Matt Stage. Jesus. Jesus, it was a long time ago. Dunno, maybe. I don't recall, though. Kyle Wellwood. Clark Wilm. Also on the facial hair team. Alex Steen. Back when he was a Leaf. And John Pohl. Good old John Pohl. That Leafs team has some interesting center depth, at least. I'll give him that. The Couve. Dan Cloutier. Alex Auld. And Wade Flaherty. Matt Stayon. Everyone's favorite Matt Stayon. Everyone's favorite Matt Stayon. Oh, God. Defense. Jovo Kopp. Bill Jovo Kopp. Matthias Oland. Sammy Salo. Brian Allen. Steve McCarthy. I mean, some key members of that team. Kirill Koltsov. Fucking Sven Butenschon. Love it. Nolan Baumgartner. Mikko Jokela. Wade Brookbank. And we'll see what they... Oh, look at that guy. That's... Speaking of mugshots. He was traded for the pick to draft Leo Komarov. Damn. Anson Carter. Trevor Linden was an 81. Joseph Balish. Richard Park. Jason King. Yarko Rutu. Tyler Book. Tyler Book. Lee Gorin. Oh. All chin. More like all neck. Lee Gorin. Good lord. Marcus Naslund in 93. Daniel Sedin's in 82. He's 25. Boy, we're going for the all scumbag team here, aren't we? Jesus. Just trade for Rafi Torres mid-season. You're good to go. Yep. Sedin's in the same overall. Both 82s. Brendan Morrison in 87. Artem Chubarov. Ryan Kessler at 21. Brandon Reed. Nathan Smith. Craig Darby. Sweet, though. Naslund was a beast at the time, for sure. Washington. Former Portland Pirate. He was the man in goal for the first ever Portland Pirates game I went to. My hero, Rostislav Stanya. If you don't know, you should know, because he's the goddamn man. Ole Kolzig. Brent Johnson, who fought Rick DiPietro once upon a time. Max Ulay. Stanya, and Frederick Cassavy. I think Stanya retired. I need to look it up. Nobody else gives a shit but me, and that's fine, because I'm better than you for caring about Rostislav Klesla. Olaf Kolzig is indeed, if he's not outright from South Africa, he was born there. He was born in Johannesburg. But his national team is for Germany. So there you go. Kolzig was born in South Africa to German parents, but grew up across Canada. So Ole Kolzig played here, there, and everywhere. Ah, Stanya retired. But he has a team profile. He is Rostislav Stanian, assistant coach for the Slovakian under-18 team. There you go. What a guy. Defense, Brendan Witt. Jamie Heward, rocking that chin strap. Steve Eminger at 22. Sean Morrison, and that's how he spelled Sean. Ivan Majeski. Jason Doig. Joseph Boumediene, Nolan Yonkman. Lawrence Nicola. Matthew Baron, Brian Muir. Jacob Kuda. Dwayne Zinger, also rocking the goatee. Dinah Subris, Chris Clark, Brian Wilsey, Ben Clymer, Matt Bradley. Look at Boyd Gordon. That hairline is untouchable. Boyd Gordon is at least 35% hair. That is ridiculous. Steve and Pete is just, talk about thumbs. Steve and Pete. And there's Ovi, 20 years old. Ovi and Crosby both in the game because it came out once the post-lockout season started. That's fucking awesome that they're in this. Jeff Friesen, Alex Semin. All together now with Alex Semin in tribute. 1, 2, 3. There you go, Alex. Good old Ovi. Oh, God. Matt Pettinger, Boyd Kane, Darcy Verra. Andrew Castles, Jeff Halpern, Brian Sotheby, Jared Ali, Brooks Like, the other Peter Sikora, but we don't talk about him. Graham Mink. And that's it. You get to the All-Stars, the national teams, which I'll at least check Italy if there is one. There is not. Italy was a, I'm not checking Boyd Gordon's face-off rating. Italy was an EA thing. And then, of course, they had some old-school teams. Which, I mean, boy! Guess who that is? Patrick Waugh. Oh, shit, that means Bork. All I'd have to do is rename them, and I can have Bork and Patrick Waugh. Mwah! 10 out of 10 game. 10 out of 10. 93 Nordiques. Shit. 93 Islanders. 93 Jets. Wow, they had the right to use the Jets in the Nords, huh? That's sick. That is sick. I didn't know that. 75 Sabres and the 68 Habs. Damn. So ends that journey. Highlighted by the fact that we found my dad.